Hello and welcome back to Monster Train. Today I'm going to do some more standard runs. My current goal with this game is to use the random class selection. And what I'm trying to do, let me go to my logbook to demonstrate. What I'm trying to do at the moment is to get all of my decks up to level 10. So I'm pretty close for some of them. And these ones I'm a bit further away with. So that's my current main goal. To do that I need to play standard runs with those decks. Don't necessarily need to win, but I'll be trying to win. I might as well try and get my Covenant rank up a bit as well as I do this. Apply Dazed 1 to enemy units and discard my hand. That's good, I guess, especially if I get a lot of those cards that count as offerings, because that guarantees discarding them and then they get played. Apply Daze to enemy units when they enter the floor below the pyre room. That's good. I think that means whatever I put on the top floor can be pretty weak things, but high damage, because they won't attack the top floor. That's pretty useful. Or when a card with Consume is played, deal 30 damage. I'm more tempted to get the Dazed buff, honestly. So I'll be focusing on dazing enemies a fair bit and powering up the top floor. 10 Frostbite or Spell Weakness. I just realized this guy doesn't have very much health, so I'll probably end up putting him somewhere near the top floor. The problem with that, Frostbite works better the lower I put it on. And Spell Weakness doesn't matter when I put that on, but it can't be on the top floor because I can't cast spells on people who are on the top floor. Hi Sparks, great to have you here. Let me think. I'll do Spell Weakness. Spikes, actually, they'll probably get me killed, but it's early on. If I die, I'll just start a new run. Nothing lost. You had your first night in your new place? How was that? How did that go for you? Use all of these. Let me see. I'll hit them twice. I'll make them dazed. Ah, whoops. Did I just discard my champion? Ignore that. I should have done it in a different order. Now I don't even have a champion. I've ruined everything. It's over. Oh no. I've made a horrible, horrible mistake. Oh, come on. Patchy sleep, but not too bad. You're waiting to get your mattress. I'm sorry. Hey, I have a champion now. But I've got nothing to defend them with. How about I focus up here? Damage and health. I'm not doing that. I'll do this first. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm doing so poorly. This is only the first battle. If I die. One buff, a bit more defense. Hit them and heal you, I guess. Sure. Okay, we've got the spell weakness going. That's about everything I've got going for me. Yikes. Nasty first round. I messed it up because I didn't get my champion out straight away. I forgot I'd be discarding my hand. Offering, deal 5 damage to enemy units and do 10 frostbite. That's good because I can get that when I discard my hand because it's an offering. Where were you sleeping if you didn't have a mattress? Just on a couch or what were you doing? Now I'm thinking, because I've got this, Dazed, and I've got a card that also applies Dazed later on and lets me discard my hand. So top floor's fairly safe. I'm thinking just getting Vine Grasp. Who's the boss? They will devour my spells. There's one supplied, but it's really bad. I'm sorry to hear. Let's see what I've got. I've got one good spell. So I'll go the spell path. Get the unit. When I cast a spell, I draw one and this guy loses health. When I cast a spell, I gain armor. Either, I guess. Armor could be nice. Someone low down to absorb some hits, but then again, I do have the green deck going on, so absorbing hits would probably be fairly easy for me to get. I get a green unit, an awoken unit I think it's called. Let's think. What do I want? I think I'll go with the Guard of the Unnamed. This one might be rarer, but I'm sure I'll find other ways to draw things. Maybe. Nothing uses consume anyway. I can buff something. I can buff it and then remove consume that I give to it. If I discard it, does that, as an offering, does that count as consuming it? 25 damage and 10 frostbite. Too bad it doesn't give me another 20 frostbite as well, that would be nice. It's 25 damage to everyone though, that's pretty good. I think that's how I'll do this. And then remove this. I'm not worried about the cost, because I can discard it. If I discard it, it works anyway. Not if I discard it at the end of my turn, but if I do something here, like discard your hand, or draw one, discard one, if I pick this one to discard, it counts. It's not a lot later on, but it will still be something. And the free days, I guess, might as well make it free. Can't believe my health is so low already. Oh well. Okay, at the start of the battle, enemy units will appear on each floor. Can I handle that? 2 health, 40 health. Probably not, but oh well. I want the money. It's only the second fight. What could go wrong? Very nice. So they have rage and they, at least it's not the ones that deal damage on death. So I think the only way to stop these getting up there is to do this. But that's a waste to put him on the top floor. He will have to go here and have protection. I'll enhance you because you're going to be strong. I want to daze them because they're doing a lot of damage to me. Let's see what the other card is first. Don't care for that. And I think I'll just let these 3 get up. It's fine. The good news is the internet is twice as fast now. It's awesome. Train steward there for some free money. This isn't so good. I'll put 1 unit here just to do a bit more damage on this floor. Might as well do what I can to make a difference in the meantime with that. These sinners' burdens are going to stack up. Damage and move him to the front. Like another train steward here to start with. 6 damage would make a bit of difference here. Heals don't matter, heals don't matter. I'll do it anyway for the incant bonus. And you die anyway, so I'll do the damage to you, because you're going to need to die on this floor ideally. I'll find a way to get them killed next turn. Final wave. I'll take it to 13 damage. Won't make a difference, I'll still do the same amount of damage at the top. I'd rather buff you and get the bonus effect. A lot of Sinner's burdens. Oh no. Let's heal. I don't think purging counts as spell for that purpose. I let them stack up too much. Yeah, we'll get some good spell weakness at least from this. Should be able to do a fairly powerful spell. Oh, he has sweep as well. Does he? Oh no, he had thorns. He had thorns, that's how he did so much damage. Perfect. Another offering. Spell weakness 1. Deal 60 damage to the front unit and push it to the back. I'm going for an offering deck at the moment. That's what I'm doing here. Way more damage, but lost health. Store 10 health and do 5 times the amount of healing damage to the enemy. That would stack quite nicely with spell weakness, I think. That'd be 5 times the amount healed, times the amount of spell weakness that I've applied to them. I have to go this way this time, I need that health. Badly. Let's do the concealed caverns first, then duplicate. Just in case I can buff a card here. Never know. I can buff a card here. The train stops near some familiar crystals. The Covenant Memorial in the middle is refracted twice by the crystals surrounding it. One larger, one smaller. In front of each, there are markings for a creature to stand and receive the remaining energy. Do you investigate the crystals further? So I can make one unit way bigger with more damage and more health. Or I can make one of my units tiny. So when I look at my units, I can't do it to my main guy sadly. I don't have any huge units, so I might as well buff this guy maybe. More damage. I think that's the best option. Or I can make him small, but he's not that big to begin with. So make him 4 large. He's the only one I can do. I can make him 4 large and buff his stats hugely. Or I can make him 1 less than what he is by default, which isn't worth it. There is a blinding flash and an ear-splitting roar. Where your ally once was, now stands a behemoth. As you depart, the train lurches under the creature's newfound weight. Depart. As for this, I could duplicate that card that I've buffed a lot, 25 damage to everything and a ton of frostbite. I could duplicate you. think I'll actually duplicate the offering. Because it's got buffs on it. 25 damage. Now I've got 2 of those. There's the main boss. At least we got some health back already. It's a bit worried. Okay. Obviously you need to go here to defend my main guy. You have rage. Not ideal, but I can enhance you with damage and health. No one in this battle has sweep, do they? I hope not. Not taking any damage now. Draw 1, discard 1. Could discard on the top floor, do some frostbite on the boss. These die anyway. 3 actions. I only need 2. This is a free one. I might as well stand him somewhere. You can go here. I don't want you to take damage straight away. Actually, if I did the spell I was thinking of doing, he wouldn't have taken damage regardless. Whoops. I'll cast my spells down here just to give you some more armor. If I do this down here, I'll give them armor, but I won't do all that damage. I want to do the damage and the frostbite to the boss so it lasts, so I'm doing it up here. Even if it means I don't get to use the other thing down there. So he'll take 10 damage again at the end of the turn, 9 damage the next turn, and so on. Frostbite's really good to put onto the bosses. Okay, a few other units. These are the only units I've really got. So I'll just put them out. I think that's fine. Haste. Okay, everyone here dies, everything's fine. Heals and a lot of damage. Depending on how I heal. He needs heals anyway. Plus I do want to give him more armor. Roll 1, discard. Can only afford 2. I'd rather the heals at this point. Oh no, this thing's gonna survive. Oh, because he blows up twice. I didn't see that. Should have read it. Now they survive. Protect my main person. Okay. Draw 1 and discard this. For enough damage to kill the things here. And do even more frostbite onto the boss. Everything here is fine. He's only going to take 1 point of damage. Tempted to buff you up a bit, or the back one actually, because the back one will live for longer. But if I make the front one live for longer, actually nothing gets hit at the tops until the boss comes here. So the back one gets it better. Or the front. 3 damage. But here it gets armor as well. I think the armor increase for nothing extra is more important than just... The armor increase here is more important than just upping them. It's a free bonus, so that's why I've done it here. I want this to live quite a while. Too bad Frostbite doesn't count as spell damage. It'd be nice if spell weakness applied to Frostbite. Okay, 2 consume items. Sap and Frostbite, that's good. Make cards 2 cheaper. Will give everyone full health. I think I want Sap and Frostbite. Sweeps for spell weakness. Sweep for Frostbite. Or incant for damage and health. I want to sweep for for spell weakness, sorry. It's the one I don't have the border for anyway. So let's use that. Extra card and extra action. Or extra space. I think extra space, I've got 1 extra large guy now. I don't have anything that takes terribly many actions, and if they do, I can use it by discarding it. My offering tokens, for example. Extra cards. I've got enough cards that let me redraw. And at this point there's nothing specific in my deck that I'm relying on. I think extra space. The only reason I would pick extra action is if I wanted to use this a lot more. I think my second upgrade I might get extra action, but my first one, more space. Because this one takes, the squid I got, this one, takes 2 space. Icy silo fight, however you say that. More space. Go this way for the cash, artifact and health. Apply silence when an enemy unit enters my train. Cards with consume have a 50% chance to be discarded. I don't think anything really has consumed, just this. That is a good one. Sap makes them do 2 less damage. I think silence, because silence can debuff them a fair bit. That means when they enter my train, they won't have some of the special abilities that they otherwise would. Damage spells are cheaper, or do even more spell weakness. I think even more spell weakness. Because my damage spells are already cheap enough. I'm not really worried about it. It's what I'm spending most of my actions on anyway. Sure, it would make it just about everything free, but I don't need that buff. Yeah, so I've got a lot of spell weakness now. Too bad it doesn't count for multi-attack. Okay, I can set it so that enemies heal when they go up a floor. Do I think I can do 95 damage on a single floor to take these out for a random artifact as a reward? 95 damage on a floor. Do it with this, perhaps. But a lot of my things are damage over time, such as Frostbite. I could do it with my offerings, but then I'm relying on very specific cards. I might take a fair bit of damage if I take this challenge. I'm tempted not to, and yet the random artifact. Damage. It's only 25 damage. I don't think I can destroy them if they heal. It's not worth it. They'll just get to the top and I'll get an artifact, but I have no health at the end of it. And then they've all got low health anyway. What? I thought it said 95 health. Or was I looking at the boss? Not ideal. Let's see, let's put you out for a start. You actually survived that somehow, okay. Health, 8 health. But disposable. Expendable. Put you out as well. Then I can't put the shark in front if I get the shark. Unless you die as well. I'll do it anyway, I'll try and keep this guy alive, and I might put the shark on the next level maybe. Let's see. You can go here. That's fine. You'd die even if I did that. I want to enhance you, of course. 38. If I do this, he'll die. Top floor won't need to worry about it. I can get the money from here. And I can daze the enemy units. I want the train guy to last one more turn. I can do 2 frozen lances up here. Health and regen, it won't save him. I'll do it here for the extra armor. And here. I'll play this. Discard this. Do a bit of damage to both of them. Sap and Frostbite, that won't even do anything. I could have used it for armor, but that's a waste. They both sweep. More defense. Wouldn't mind if you did more damage. That's gonna survive. You'll die in 1 hit. Nothing I can do here. 6 damage. You still have 11 left. I can do 6 damage if I use both of these. And this makes it 11. That works. So nothing will be dealing damage to our main base. That's fine. Let's do that damage here. We need to do something with these two. Let's use this and see what we draw. The perfect thing to discard, straight up. 60 damage to the front enemy, get them out of the way so we can start dealing damage to the back here. Full health, so that's useless. But it can give more armor though. I hope they've still got enough spell weakness to stop them getting to the top. They do. So 3 damage. That would do. Spell weakness 1 is times 2, so spell weakness 3 is times 4. 12 damage, not enough. And enhance both of you. I can enhance you, but I don't want this getting to the top. Will it be enough though? So we do 13 damage. This would give us an extra 6. And this will do 12. It'll get us about halfway. I think that's far enough to actually make it take 1 less hit. Just eyeballing it. Because we do 30 damage. We're doing 13. It might be a bit short, but we'll see. 19. It's perfect. It's enough to get us beneath 30, so they'll only get 1 attack in rather than 2. We'll get to keep more health. And he'll kill this guy in 1 turn anyway. So it's not worth healing. I'm better off getting some extra armor. Spell weakness. It's free, let's see what we draw. Kind of boring. I'll get rid of this. Region's not going to help when we're hitting armor first. What will probably help is this. 15 frostbite and 3 sap, that's 6 less damage, so they only do 7 damage. That got us a bit further. And this will make them miss the first attack, I think. And it will give us a bit more armor. 3 more armor. Which is enough to get us an extra 20 or so damage in. The frostbite from before should do a lot of this for us now. Discard this. Get some of that damage out. I think that hit their spell weakness actually. It buffed the damage up from 25 to 150. That worked. Permafrost consume, apply silence to enemy units. Stacking silence doesn't work well. Silence is like an effect. So this would kind of be redundant because I've already got silence on a lot of things. I'd rather stick with offerings like this. Sap 2 to every enemy. That's 2 less 4 less damage to every enemy that's in the room that I discard or play this in. That's useful. Extra 3 cards in a turn could be good. The problem with my deck that I'm seeing at the moment, this is a big problem. It's really easy to fall into this trap when you play this game. When all your cards look like they're from the one deck instead of both decks, you're missing out on half of the good things you could be doing. All my cards are from the Stygian deck. Notice that I only have the standard Awoken ones and a couple others that I started with. So the problem is I don't have enough cards in my Awoken deck, I think, which I can fix here. I can get one good one. But what to get? Restore friendly units to full health. Alright. Stay safe, Sparks. It was great to have you here. What are you going to play? This is expensive because the way I'm going is my spells are free. I'm playing with either free spells or a spell that lets me discard it to avoid the cost. Deal damage to the enemy unit based on how many spikes I have. I've got nothing that gives me spikes at this point. Useless. This is good for one turn. I'd like to be able to put all my units to full health. They don't have a lot of health, but I do have some cards here that up the health, such as the steel enhancers. I think just the steel enhancers actually. But being able to get a weak unit to full health, that's good. And besides, it's a free spell. I can use it for some extra armor if there's no one to use it on. Hunt Showdown with some friends. I don't think I've heard of that. Going right this time. Cards, Concealed Cavern. Cards. Coins and Concealed Caverns. I haven't seen this one before, I don't think. Looks strange. Shards of the pyre. Remnants of the once great beacon of hell are strewn about. When it was extinguished, the shattered pyre must have been ejected through these hell vents across all 9 rings. Taking advantage of the opportunity, some entrepreneurial soul decided to set up a still near the hell vent, converting what energy remained into potent liquids. While the owner must have heard you coming and scrambled off, some of their product remains. Do you take a swig? Some of the bottled stuff will give me a card I can use once in the battle that gives me some pyre health back. Decent if things are getting through. Straight from the still. Gives me a one-off thing. That gives me 3 extra damage depending on how many actions I spend. So I only have 3 actions, so this could give my pyre 9 damage. This would heal my pyre. Both look good. What would do me better? Damage or health? 2x health, so I'd get about 6 health if I used all my actions. Just some, but not terribly a lot. Haven't seen that before. This would do the damage up by 9. I'd say the boss typically has, like the last boss I'm thinking, would have about 2,000 health maybe. And they'd have about they do about 30 damage in between attacks. So 6 health out of 30. It's about 1/6. It's exactly 1/5. But this is even less, I think, in terms of how much health they have. 9 damage against 2000 health isn't as good. However, 6 health will not let me survive an extra hit from the boss. I'll still die in the exact same number of hits. This, on the other hand, this would let me get the, what's the word? I'd get off a few more damage for each attack that they do, which would make more difference in the long run. So I think I'll have to go with straight from the still. Why take a swig when you can take the entire still? Who knows, it might come in handy later on. I don't think it's a permanent buff, it's a one-off buff for that fight. But it's good just in case stuff gets through, or I can use it for the armor. I could have used either for the armor. Duplicate any card, except my champion. Get another massive shark. Already duplicated that. Yeah, I'll do the shark. I have 2 large sharks. Non-boss units get more damage. Not worth it. I need to get another shop soon. I've got a lot of money saved up. I just haven't spent it. Need to find somewhere to spend it. Okay. Obvious thing. You down here. You behind to give us the sweep and spell weakness. Train steward might as well stand up here, at least one of them. I don't think I have that many other units to place. I've got another shark. And I've also got the icy Silophyte. But that's all my units. Put the train steward here for whatever makes it through. I'll daze them so I don't take damage. And that's the offering to do even more damage and frostbite. Then you get through with a little bit of health. The frostbite should do most of it by the time they get to the end. You can stand here. You can stand up here. Okay, he'll be taking damage. Hmm. 40 damage, 40 damage. This will make you die on the next floor and you won't get to the top. But if you did get to the top, this guy would kill you. And you'd be dizzy, so you wouldn't get to attack anyway. So if I do this, it makes no practical difference. I'm better off restoring health, so that this one gets a bit more healing. So he should heal at the end of his turn. Sweep for spell weakness, I would. not really going to help me. This floor's fine. They're both... This one will be 10 health down. This one will be 12 health down. I'm better off healing this lot. I want to see what the draw card is. Could be an offering. It's not. I think I'd rather do some more... Actually, I'll play the dead weight. What am I talking about? Obvious discard choice. Spell weakness at the top isn't the best option. Yeah, I've got no way for this train steward to die, for example. To actually play this somewhere further down. But nothing can attack me on the top floor except the boss. I'd be better off putting another train steward up here. That's fine. Frozen nest here and enhance you. And I'll leave that card be. Nothing can attack on the top floor because the units are dazed when they get up that high. This is not fine. Let's do this to draw and discard this one to do damage to everything. Now it's fine. Let's enhance you again. Now the train steward at the top, just like I was saying before. And let's heal this one. He needs some help too. 1 sap and 5 frostbite to everything. I don't think that's worth it, but this guy worries me. I think I'll save it. Hopefully I can do something to deal with him on this floor. I'll move you to the front. I'll heal you to do a ton of damage to him. I think that's fine. If he dies, the guy behind can't attack the pyre. I just need to do a damage spell on him when he's at the top. Six damage could be worth it. Might as well. So it does 36 damage, but I'm pretty sure that goes back after this fight. Just a bit more damage. Sap 2. That would be really good. I can't offer it, sadly. He dies, he can't hurt me. Yeah, I do sap 2, so he does, instead of 25 damage, he does 5 damage. Or at least for the first few turns. And this spell weakness is stacking up. That's how I have to get the boss. So I don't have very much that works against the boss currently. I have to rely on spell weakness. You're at full health, so this is no good anyway. Apply 3 sap and frostbite. And this, they've got 6 spell weakness, so it will do 7 times the damage, 21 damage. Not ideal. I'm hoping for a better card later on, because when I use a damaging spell, it takes the spell weakness off. I'd rather use a more powerful spell for that. Perfect, 60 damage, and I can do it for free. First, I'll enhance you for free, I think. No, I'll enhance the back one, because the front one will die anyway. Normally I'd do this, then I'd do this to discard it, but that is going to be a waste of, that's going to do 42 damage if I do that. If I do this and discard, 7 times 60. It's 420 damage it will do. That will win it straight away. Didn't want... If I did it in the other order, it would have only done the 60 damage, and it would have lost it for me. Okay. Apply Frostbite to enemy units, or one-off spell weakness. But this is one I can put in the back. The bottom floor, what I've been trying to do lately, is put my champion on the bottom floor with one of these to guard him. The problem here is my floors are 6 large. They're 4 large and he's 1 large, and I've got nothing else that's got a size of 1 to fill in that last spot. So I'm losing out on potential there. So if I get the Glacial Seal, that will give me an extra way of putting some damage on them really early on. Draw less next turn, but an extra action for a turn. I don't really need that. Descend a unit and give them more health. Now that I like. What unit would be worth descending though? Maybe I could get 2 sharks on the 1 floor if I really wanted to. Or I could put another sweep person onto the bottom floor from the middle. Or I can just use it as a last resort, move the enemy downwards. I think restoring retreat's the best option here. Draw less next turn but an extra action. Could be good, but my deck doesn't rely on actions. My deck relies on offerings. Meaning offerings and free items. So that I can incant for armor. And discard with these. And where's the other one that lets me discard? And with this, for free, to apply massive damage to all the enemies with this for free. I can weaken the enemies by choosing this to discard. Or I can do a huge amount of damage to the front enemy only with this. Depending on how much spell weakness I've got. I think I'll take Restoring Retreat. This time I'll go to the right. That's a trinket shop. Hold on. I can go this way for a trinket and to upgrade a unit. Free trinket, unit upgrades and cash. Which is nice. If I go this way, I can top off my health. Get a mystery. and buy trinkets. Buying trinkets is expensive, but I've got the cash. I've got the second worst boss coming up before the last boss. And I think an assortment of trinkets would be more effective at this than a single free trinket and some unit upgrades. Let's begin with the trinkets. When I heal, deal damage equal to the amount I heal. Bonus spike damage. Spell weakness as soon as an enemy unit enters the train. I've got nothing that spikes are doing. I have a few cards that heal. My unit with the most health is this. That'd be nice, extra damage when I heal. And spell weakness. I'd have about 300 left. I could re-roll and buy one more. I'll buy spell weakness either way, because that's really effective to what I've been doing. Spikes is not useful to me at all. I need to decide. If I spend 50, I can re-roll. I'll have 450 left to spend, and I can buy probably 2 of them. Or I can buy this, if I'm worried that re-rolling will only give me bad things. It's a tricky choice. Healed, deal damage. Let me think about this one more time. Apart from my basic heals, I have 2 cards that heal. 3 cards that heal. This one heals for a lot. Entire health. Up to 45 damage or so. 44 actually, if I only have 1 health left on one of those sharks. 45 damage. That's far outweighed by my offerings. I think I'll re-roll. Let's see. Sting spells. Too bad I don't have sting spells. That'd be lovely. Playing a spell deals random damage. And friendly units all have 3 extra health. That is very useful because if you look at my units, they all have very little health except for these ones. That will definitely help them survive longer. Even just a little bit, but if it's enough to get 1 more attack out, sometimes that can make the difference. A cave of 1,000 eyes seems to awaken as you grow near. From deep within a voice emerges. Relinquish your life or your wealth and you may be rewarded if you are deemed worthy. You don't often make offerings to unknown beasts, but you consider making an exception for this cave. Do you toss in your tribute? So this is where I lose more and more health and coins in a fun game of sunken cost fallacy to try and get an item or an artifact. An artifact, it says there. And artifacts do make a big difference. I think I'll spend coins until I run out, because this isn't really enough to buy very much at all anyway. I've spent most of my coins. And when my coins run out, I'll start using my health. The chance gets better and better each time though. So it's like a sunken cost fallacy that tends to work in your favour eventually. A loud belch emerges from the shadowy depths. Your tribute disappears into the darkness, but no recognition of your worth follows. Your worth has yet to be determined. Only further tribute will sway us further. Do you make another offering? More coin. A loud belch emerges from the shadowy depths. Your tribute disappears into the darkness, but no recognition of your worth follows. We continue to question your worth. Only further tribute will sway us further. Do you make yet another offering? Now go into health. 3 magic power. That means every spell that does damage directly will do an extra 3 damage, which is very good for the setup I've got going. A loud belch emerges from the shadowy depths. We've deemed you worthy. Let's hope that this boss is anything but the spell shield. Because the spell shield, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'll add Scourge Cast to my hand and deck, so I fill out my deck with useless stuff. Straight away, huh? If I put you out, you're gonna die pretty swiftly. "13 attack, frostbite." If I use you two together, it's giving me the 3 worst people it could give. Nobody to protect them. Not enough action to play a couple, I guess. Let's see. 6 damage. If I play both of these on the bottom, 7. That's enough to stop this one and this one, because they both have sweep. I'll need to heal later though. Who's got more health? You do, you can stand out front. It's not ideal. Hopefully I'll get a shark by the time this one dies. Hopefully on the same turn. Restore health, yes. That was pretty good. More damage and health. Deal damage and move it to the front. Sure. Oh, and that did 2 damage because of that, because this one. It's everything on the bottom dealt with. I can focus on the middle and the top now. You can go here. And you, being weaker but expendable, can go here to protect those 2. Down and to the back, huh? Start with this, draw 1, discard 1. Perfect. Could descend you. But I need to get rid of this somehow. That's fine. I think that's fine. I can heal down here later on. I'll put you at the top just because you have a lot of damage. Just to try and get rid of this top statue before things get too out of control. So if the enemies ever do get up there, I can hit behind it. There's nothing to heal with. Draw 1 and discard 1. Discard this. 9 damage. Sadly, because these are the ones on the bottom and this is where all the enemies keep going, I'm not exactly getting a lot of what's the word? Should have done a different order there. I'm not getting a lot of armor on these two, which is bad. They need armor. Nine damage to the front enemy. Do it like this. 5, 10, 16. This one will not live. I can't play anything else anywhere. Sap to full health. Enhance. That's fine. That is not. Neither is this. If I enhance you, will you live? I think you're gonna die anyway. This is bad. I could do both down here. Which gets me how much health? 16 plus 3, 19 health. That's enough to survive. They're doing 12 damage to me. Healing here would be enough. Because they're doing 12 damage. This is enough to keep me alive. This can help out on this level. Yes. If I sap 2, I'll do more damage at the top. This is the most damage I can do at the top with this deck at the moment. I think things are going to start making it to the top shortly. I'm getting slightly overwhelmed up here and my bottom floor is falling through. Top floor needs damage, you need shield. That's fine. This is not. I've got nothing that lets me discard. Let's see here. They're gonna get through. They're gonna get through. This needs to live. That's the important thing. Sap and Frostbite onto the boss, I guess. Let's take a little bit of damage. We're going to be taking damage soon anyway. not ideal, but it looks like that's what's going to be happening. Yikes. Begin with heals. You have 9 spell weakness. I can do 600 damage right here. If I discard my hand. Yeah, first, I'd rather use this up here to give you some armor and to make sure you don't get to the top. Now discard my hand. It's not much, but you'll have more spell weakness by the time you're up on the next floor. 6 spell weakness, 8 spell weakness. Good. I needed that. Enhance you. Heal you. And I'll put a train steward out here to make this go a bit longer. I don't want to waste the sap though, I want to hold on just in case. Because I have nothing else here that's going to give them more spell weakness. That was in my units that did that. I'm hoping by the time they get to the top floor, I'll have another offering. Let's see, I'll get 5 cards from here. Yeah, nothing here is going to actually let me do an offering, is it? Oh. By looking ahead in my deck, I can see that's not going to work. So I'll just do what I can with that. Okay. You here. This on the floor. This also on the floor. Close. Too bad I don't have room for another. I should win, but my health will suffer. I hope I win. Yeah, I'm gonna have like 10 health at the end of this. Tough boss. Double the frostbite for a lot of actions that I don't have. 2 regen and 2 spikes. Regen and spikes. That's only going to make sense on my sharks, because they're the only ones with enough health for spikes to really matter. Doubling the frostbite is good, but I'll need to get more actions after this. I've already got one of those. Regen and spikes, frostbite. And this works by filling up my deck with more and more of it, which I think is against the idea of what I'm trying to do, because when you look in here, a lot of my cards are offerings. So I can use my expensive cards for free, but to do that they've actually got to show up sometimes. And if this starts filling up my deck with more and more of this, I'm never going to see it. I'd rather have the chance to double the frostbite. More actions, please. I hope there's heals somewhere here. I really need heals. That works. Upgrade a unit with Endless. I'd have to do that with one of the units that's going to die. that I want to keep. I do it with this one because it's easy to die, so I can place it in risky spots. It doesn't matter. And if it dies, like in the last game, I can put it straight back down in front as more defense. It's the only thing I've really got that's worth anything, apart from the sharks. But the sharks won't fit in a lot of places. So just in case, that's my backup. Could give you health as well, but endless. I'd rather give damage because that's going to stack with sweep. I'd rather give health to the totem just in case something tries to or that. I could do this to get even more health and distance out of the 35 damage, which is pretty good. Not that good, but it's the best I've got at the moment. Or I can do this to counter sweep. So that if an enemy tries to sweep through all my units with a single attack, this will survive a few hits. And I can apply more and more frostbite. I think I'll do it on one of my sharks. That makes the most sense. Damage spells cost 1 less, or spell weakness 3 to the attacked unit. Spell weakness 3 please. I need to really stack up my spell weakness because my deck is kind of unlucky for the last boss I've got because it's grown itself around damage spells, particularly offerings. The problem with that is the boss is the one that removes the first spell that I use permanently. 2 battles away from the end. Let's see if this works well or not. Not worth the challenge. I have too much health. 130 health, I can't beat that in a single turn. Not without getting the lucky draws. Spell weakness. What if I do a lot of spell weakness at once? If I put you out, you'd survive 1 hit. Just thinking, if I did something like this, that'd kill a lot of them. Then I have to put Tethys somewhere. And then I'm even further behind on the next floor because they'll move up and I'll be in the same position but with 1 more enemy here. Not ideal. I need to weaken them. Like so. Oh, they have extinguished damage, that's bad. Come out here to help that one. Draw 1, discard 1. Let's do that up here. I'll discard this. That kills them. Sap 2. It's the only thing that makes sense, otherwise we're dying. And he's not the endless one. Enhance. Please be strong. He's not strong. I could daze. Steward up here. Maybe 2. I guess that depends on if I have... Not my deck, I want to see my draw pile. If I have any other creatures to play. It's just the train steward, so I might as well put them out up here. Kill anything that gets through. Daze all of these so they can't hurt this one. And to give him a bit more armor as well. He's dying again. Things are surviving and making it to the top. Which is very, very bad. That will kill. I have to do that on this turn. You'll survive, you're not surviving, so you need some help. Yes, just enough to survive. Third train steward up here to hopefully make a difference if things get that bad. This bottom shark's barely holding on. It's all the extinguished damage that's happening here. Full health, thank you. Sap and Frostbite, I'd rather use that on the boss. 9 damage and 10. You need the armor and regen most, I'm afraid. Things are going to start getting through now. This is where it gets bad. That's useless. 6 damage. 5 times the amount of healing damage. I can descend, or I can do this and this. I want to do this either way. Down here, because I'm definitely doing a lot of spells down here. 2 actions left. I can restore, move them down to get some extra damage onto the bottom floor, especially in the sweep department. You're doing 11 damage. If he takes 11 less, I think you'll get to the top anyway. Okay. You need the damage, either way. And you need the heals. I'll move this down later on if I get the chance. No chance. Damage and move to the front. Sure. Offering. Very nice choice of offering, thank you. Extra damage, heals and heals. 179 damage, it's not enough. Hopefully we'll be able to do this. I can only hope. Let's see. 9. And 1 free one. I'll do it anyway for the extra armor. I'll do this. And then this. Maybe the train people will finish them off just in time. I think the frostbite will finish them off anyway. Yeah, we win. Okay. More magic power on the floor. That'd be good on the top floor when there's a lot of frostbite applied. Behind where I keep putting the train stewards. Another sap offering would also be useful. Double sap offerings. Okay, this is a toss-up between double sap or magic power. So I guess something like the something that lets me discard a card for the offering, particularly if it's Frenzied Swarm that lets me discard my whole hand. And I had 2 of these. That's 4 sap for nothing. Just 8 less damage. Not the best, but it's still pretty good. Already got one that does sap. I think magic power, so I don't need to rely on finding it. 7 magic power on the top floor, especially with the multiplier of spell damage they'll be taking by then, because of my endless creature, this one, which will do spell weakness, particularly the boss on the last floor. I'll need the magic power buff. I just need to make sure my spells last that long. And graft could be useful. Why not? It's an extra action the next turn. Trinkets. I can hold them in spot beneath the top room. Can do that, or I can upgrade a unit. Massive unit. Is it worth it? Would I be better off putting it onto something else? I guess that doing it here makes sense. Maybe. Might as well try it out. Extra health and armor on incant. Let's do both on the Mollusk Mage. Because he's going to encourage using spells on his floor anyway, so I might as well give him a small bit of armor when I do it too. As for duplicating a card, Frenzied Swarm could be worthwhile. I'd rather duplicate something that's been buffed. Like 2 mollusk mages, for example. I don't need 2 endless things. One of them's plenty. Yeah, 2 mollusk mages. And we're on the last battle. I'm worried. I need to be really careful what's the first spell I use. I need to use the weak ones at the start of the turn. You at the bottom. Just you in front. That's bad, but you're endless at least. These won't save it, but I don't want to consume this. I'll leave it there. Really. That's fine. 1 damage I'm not so worried about at this point. I can afford it anyway. You need the protection here. Or I could do the sweeping protection. 13 health. It will die though. It won't be enough protection. You can go there. You can go here. Oh, I'm getting both of these. That'll do, I guess. It's not good. I hate how I can't use spells. You can protect the guy at the back. Not enough. Not enough. And that's not even worth it. However, even if it's not worth it, it's a small amount of damage. I'd rather get the bigger cards and apply Frostbite to the boss, even if it's just a little bit. No. I don't think I'll survive this. I don't think I can do it. Wait, did I just consume that? Whoops. Yeah, this is bad. I need to get as much spell weakness on the boss until the last second. Three spell weakness. I don't think it's enough. Could do something like this. Use some extra health at the top. Yeah, we've lost. My deck just wasn't good enough. Especially against that boss. I had no way to counter them. New cards unlocked. Lodestone Totem. Incant, apply Sap 1 to enemy units. That is good. Enemy units enter with 2 Frostbite. Took way too much damage early on in the pyre then. We did pretty good. We got to the last boss anyway. It's just the wrong build for that boss. I focused too much on spells and they were a direct counter to that. That's where I'll be finishing for tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe. Bye.